you got to realize that whatever you're doing, you're competing with somebody. What is it that gives you an advantage over your competition? Whatever you're good at, try to be great at it. And if you're great at it, good things will happen.
Maverick Podcast.
I'm far from average. That's why I had to come sit down and chop it up with DJ Maverick. They know my name from coast to coast and even in Dallas. I use my talent when I'm faced with a challenge. Gratitude strength is my magnet. Close your eyes and imagine. If you can see it in your mind, then you can have it.
Maverick Podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. This is the Maverick Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Maverick. Today we have another super episode for you guys. We have the super talented entrepreneur, the one and only Araceli Lopez. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
I can't wait to get into everything. But before we do, for the 1% of the people out there that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm Araceli Lopez. Everyone call me Chelly.
Chelly.
And I'm from Mexico. I'm Latina. I like to dance. I'm a single mom. And also I'm a business owner.
Perfect. Tell me about growing up in Mexico. What was that like?
Oh my God, was wonderful.
Yeah?
Yes, I have so much fun in my little ranchito, my little town in Santadeo.
Where is that exactly?
Aguascalientes.
Aguascalientes, okay.
It's super close to Calvillo. I don't know, have you heard Calvillo?
I've heard of Calvillo, yeah.
Yeah, so super close to Calvillo. I had so much fun. Since everything is so close, you can walk very safe.
Yeah.
And there's a sense of community. You know all your neighbors. And they know you, so it was amazing.
Yeah, it sounds cool. So until what age were you there?
Until 11 years old.
11, okay. And then what sort of drove the motivation to come to the U.S.?
To immigrate, my dad.
Your dad?
Okay. Yeah, my dad. Actually, it was kind of sad when he told me because in Mexico, you're part of the escolta.
What is that?
Escolta is like, oh my God, it's like every Monday we honor the flag.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, you know, the army with their march.
Kind of like ROTC here in the U.S. maybe?
Marching,
no?
yes.
Yeah.
So they choose 6 students of the I think it's 5th grade and 6th grade is the last one.
Okay.
And so in that transition, they choose me and I was for the entire summer, I practiced to be in the escolta. And then when before school started, we immigrated to the
so
USA.
You never got to do it?
No.
Wow.
I was practicing, but never officially did.
Yeah. What was so cool about being that? Was it just the recognition or was it prestigious?
It's prestigious. And also that means that you're very smart and disciplined and intelligent and it's like, oh, you're in the escolta. You have good grades and you're a good student. It was a privilege to be there.
Wow. So you come to the U.S., you're not happy about that.
No.
But then what were your first thoughts? What were your initial thoughts?
Another planet.
Yeah?
Completely. Because in Mexico, our schools are totally different.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know now, but back there, we didn't have lockers. And here we have lockers. Because when I moved, I start middle school.
Okay.
And everything was new for me. Lockers, everything was inside. Huge cafeteria.
Yeah.
They give us lunch. They provide, or you can buy the lunch.
Yeah.
But in Mexico, no, we ate it was like a huge monte.
Really? Outside?
Yeah, outside.
Oh, wow.
Outside, under a tree. And then my mom used to come and, mija, here's your burritos.
I kind of like that better. Some fresh burritos. I'll take that over school cafeteria.
Burritos, tacos, and here's your soda. And we have like a little kind of, in Spanish, it's no, that's not lonchera. It's another name. But like a little store. And then you can buy like chips. And sometimes when my mom didn't have a lot of time, she's like, okay, here is money. You guys have to buy your lunch.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't remember. I think it's lonchera. But yeah, we were so excited every time that we could because it was a different kind of food, like sandwiches.
So it was like a treat. It was like I get to try something new, right?
Yes, like a treat.
Yeah. And then you get here to the U.S. Were you quickly to pick up English? Like,
No.
what was that like? No,
No, because we're... So first time to Colorado. When we came here, we went to Colorado.
Colorado's beautiful.
I
love
beautiful.
Colorado.
It is beautiful. I love Colorado. I spent a lot of time in Colorado. But first, we came to Colorado. We stayed there for a year.
Yeah.
And all my classes were in Spanish.
In Colorado?
In Colorado.
Wow.
They have this ESL program.
Okay.
English as a second language.
Yeah.
So they have the teachers, they speak Spanish. So only my electives were in English.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Did you find that to be a pro or a con? I don't know, because that could kind of slow down, right?
Yes, at first was like a pro.
Yeah.
But I think I'm very anxious with exams, and you have to pass one exam. If you don't pass the exam, you cannot go to the regular classes.
I see.
You have to stay to the ESL classes.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh. And then we came to Oklahoma in Urban.
Before we come to Oklahoma, if I remember correctly, you weren't just not in Colorado. You were in one of the cool areas in Colorado, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Right? Like one of the pretty areas.
Very
right?
close to Vail.
Yeah, that's like
Avon.
tourist city, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Avon.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, yeah. When we came, we used to live in Beaver Creek.
Okay.
It's
beautiful,
beautiful.
right? Yeah.
Expensive, but
Yeah.
beautiful.
But you got to spend some winters there
Yes,
and
yes.
witness a Christmas or something
Oh,
there.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, but we were there only for a year.
Okay.
And then we came to Oklahoma, to Norman. I went to Longfellow Middle School.
Okay.
And-
And you were like, what is this? Where's the snow? Where's the mountains?
Where's the mountains?
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm in Mexico. It was very, Oklahoma for me is very similar to Mexico.
Okay. Just because it's flat or what?
It's flat. There is a lot of stores, Mexican stores.
Okay.
Over there, no Mexican
Really?
stores. No.
Okay.
I think just one, and they didn't have a lot of products.
No
It was-
restaurants either or what? No?
No,
Okay.
to go to like a mall, you have to drive 2 hours to get to Denver or
wow.
to get to Glenwood Spring.
Okay.
But yeah, when I was here in Norman, I was I think the third Hispanic student.
No way.
So I learned a lot of English here
Yeah.
in Oklahoma. But then we went back to Colorado.
Okay.
We went back to Colorado, and I graduated from high school in Colorado and my university in Colorado.
Got it. So what did you want to do? You were going back and forth. If I would have met you at that time and said, hey, Araceli, what do you want to do when you grow up? What would have been the answer to that?
I always have my own business.
Always.
Yes. One funny story. Since I was in Mexico, I used to sell Avon products.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, you were telling me that you didn't mess around with business, right? Like you sold a lot, but then you also expected the prompt payment. Right?
Yes. Yeah, they were like, we don't have the money. You have to come back tomorrow. And I'm like, no, I'm here. You have to pay me here right now.
Yeah.
If you don't pay me, I'm going to go and talk to a police.
Oh, wow. You're not messing around. What age were you? Like
I was like 10 years old.
10 years old.
Yes.
And selling Avon, if I remember correctly?
Yes,
Yeah?
Avon
Wow.
products. Yeah.
Wow. That's a young age to be basically an entrepreneur.
Yes. And that was thanks to my grandmother.
Okay.
She's my madrina. She's the one that she's like, hey, you should sell Avon products. And I'm like, okay, explain me more. And, knocking the doors. Hey, I sell Avon products. So you want to see the catalog? And some people say yes. Some people say no. But, I always have like a good connection with people.
Yeah.
And they're like, I think that sometimes they want to see the catalog because they were like, a little girl is selling me Avon products.
Yeah. What's the age limit? Is there not an age limit? Or
I think the thing is I was under my madrina.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So she was like, hey, you go sell, I'll go, relax, or what was the deal?
I don't know. Like, to be honest, now that I know how that works, I'm like, I think, I was selling for her. And because she had another people selling it, and I was the number one.
Okay. You were like the top sales? Wow.
Like in my little town. Like
Yeah.
it was like 3 or 4 people selling.
Yeah.
And even one of my cousins, she always was like around me and behind me, like, why'd she sell so much?
Yeah.
And one day she was like, what are you doing here? Nothing. So she was following me to see the people, like my clients, and
really?
how I talk to people.
Oh, wow. That's a gift. I mean, learning to speak with people and to develop a quick relationship with people, that's a huge gift. I don't know how you feel about that.
I think it's something natural, and it is, like you say, it's a gift. It's a gift that God gave me, and I have to, one of the things that I think, if He gives you this gift, you have to use it, and for a good way.
Yeah, 1,000%. And you weren't nervous. You approached the houses, knock on the door.
Yeah.
And you were like ready. Your pitch was ready.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I just sell Avon products. They want to see the catalog. Sometimes they say no. Sometimes they say yes.
Yeah.
And one of my strategies was like with ladies, like, and I know that they have boyfriends. I was like, hey, you have to buy this perfume so you can smell good when your boyfriend comes.
That's amazing. Are they entrepreneurs as well? Or where's that motivation come from, you think?
I don't know. Like now, yes. Well, yes. My dad, he had his own huerta.
Okay.
Huerta is like huerta de guayabas, where they have guayabas trees.
Okay.
And they sell the guayabas.
Amazing. So like a little
Guavas.
patch, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has also like cows and yes.
Yeah.
So I think from him and right now both of my brothers, they have their own law business.
Okay.
And then one of my sisters, she does nails. So I think we all have it. Yeah, there. It is
cool.
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
You never had a traditional job, or did you have a traditional job?
Yes.
Yeah. What was that like?
Right now that I'm an entrepreneur, I prefer this side.
Sure.
I like, when you work from 8 to 5, you do your work, and you don't think about that.
You just
and
forget it.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Check out.
Yes. And here, no, because sometimes it's like a holiday or even a weekend and they're calling you or texting you. But now I learned to not answer.
Okay.
Yeah, because before it was answering all the time, even at 6, 7, 8, 9 p.m.
Yeah, people don't respect your time. They're just like, hey, she's available. I'm going to call, right?
And a lot of my business comes from Facebook and Instagram. So, but
that's
mostly for
24/7.
Facebook. They know when I'm connected, and they're like, she's so connected. Why she's not responding?
You're like liking or posting pictures.
Yes, and you know what? I learned to be very polite and say, you know what? I work from 8 to 5, and only Monday through Friday. I don't answer, after hours, except it's like something urgent.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So that traditional job, what was it?
I had, first Starbucks, then Wells Fargo, and then the University of Oklahoma. That's it.
Diversity. I like that.
Yes.
At Starbucks, I've been tempted to just do it for like a summer or something, just to learn how to make the drinks.
It's the funnest.
It's fun?
It's fun. I have a lot of fun in Starbucks.
Are you a coffee person? Or what?
I am.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Very cool. And then you did that for a while and you said, hey, I just need more freedom. I want to be, more flexible with my schedule. Or what sort of made you do that jump to be an entrepreneur? Because that's that initial jump when you're used to having a paycheck.
Yeah.
It's 8 to 5 and then you're like, I'm going to do my own thing. That's scary.
It is scary. But one of the things that you have to do is prepare yourself. You have to save money and at least 6 months of rent, like all your expenses.
Yeah.
In my mind, I always had I wanted to have a business. I don't know what.
Okay.
But one of the things that I did before is Herbalife here.
Yeah.
I did Herbalife, and I also did another. I was in another company. It is I Am Marcus Life.
Okay.
This company sells pretty much education, financial education.
Oh, okay.
So we were recruiting people to learn, and we got paid. But I really like to teach. I want people to learn how to invest.
Yeah.
The money thing, financial.
Yeah, I'm a geek about that too, but my friends never want to talk about that. I can talk about crypto, about stocks, trading. I can talk forever about that. My friends are like, no, whatever. You're crazy.
And I learned about crypto and all trading and forex, and we did a little bit of everything. Okay. I have a little bit of crypto, not a lot, but I do.
I always tell people Ethereum and Bitcoin. If you have any kind of liquidity, it's just pile it up over time and just hold it.
Yep, those are
not financial advice, but that's what I tell people.
Just invest in crypto, Bitcoin or the other one. What you can lose.
Yeah.
Just invest. Maybe $500, $1,000 and forget about it.
Exactly. That's what I tell people. Yeah. So what did you enjoy most out of all those traditional jobs? Did you like the people aspect, or did you enjoy more the financial, the teaching financials, all that? What did you enjoy the most?
Always the people aspect. Yeah, I'm a people's person.
Yeah.
I like to talk to people. I like to connect with people. And yeah, but when I was there, I was like, I had like a different vision, and I saw different paths, because usually the path that, most of your family is like have a normal job, good benefits. I was at OU, University of Oklahoma. I worked there for 7 years. I got good benefits, good insurance, a lot of good things. But I'm always working for someone else. I'm working for their dreams, not working for my own dreams.
Absolutely.
And one of my dreams was to have flexible time and enjoy. If I want to, right now, I want to grab a coffee, I want to go and grab a coffee.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I'm going to clock out. I'm going to go use my PTO so I can grab a coffee.
Right. Or even just say, I'm going to take a trip, right?
Yeah.
Just spur of the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, today I watch a movie in the morning.
That's amazing.
I marry in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I marry people.
Okay.
And then I went to my house. We have pancakes, me and my son, and then we were watching a movie.
That's
and then I
super
start
cool.
working again. So.
I mean, to me, that's almost like more beneficial than maybe the financial aspect. It's just
Yes.
the time freedom that you have, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes you're like, okay, especially if you have a mentality of grow, like you want to grow your business, you want to be in a better position and get more clients.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I deal sometimes. Like, I know that if I do this and this and this, my business will be bigger.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, calm down, enjoy life, enjoy the moment, and that's just a process. Because sometimes it's like you're anxious. Because you see other people. And
I struggle with that. I don't know if you can tell, but I DJ, I do a podcast, right? I do all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
I struggle with like not doing something. Yeah.
I think it's the personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that initial jump, what was it like? Was it scary? What did you do?
At Starbucks?
No, you're going to leave your traditional job and you're going to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. So I was married. And then when I moved to Oklahoma City, because I used to live in Norman before I got married. And then it was like, what should I, I have to leave my job. I don't want to drive Oklahoma City to Norman every single day.
I-35 is horrible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I had that mentality of, you can have your own job, you can have your own business.
Yeah.
And with that company that we were, it was like a multi-level company.
Okay.
So they teach you, they really help you to see the world in a different way.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful with that kind of companies because I learned a lot from them. So I was like, I really want to have that, the time, like you say, that time.
I would take the time over money, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But sometimes money too, because when you do like one of the services that I provide, all the money is for me. But if you're working with another company that they provide similar services, they're gonna pay you a hourly rate, and they're gonna keep the other money.
And you're capped, right?
Exactly.
Most of the time there's a cap.
Right? And here, no.
Yeah.
Like there is more possibilities. But okay, so when I divorced, I was like, what should I do? I moved back to Norman. And then I was like, okay, I can go and knock the door again.
Yeah.
OU, the University of Oklahoma. I have good reputation. I worked for them for 7 years. But I was like, you know what? But before I separated, I started doing a lot of like notary things, like notarized documents, and I started marrying people. And I was like, give yourself 3 months. Okay. Give yourself 3 months. If you can live with 3 months with these things that you're doing.
Did you have a nest egg? Did you have a 3-month nest egg?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, okay. That's why I did it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so that's why I did it. And then, then I did a little bit of immigration, and I was like, you know what? Yes, this is working. And I was super excited and very grateful with the people, because the people, they're the ones that are like promoting you, referring you. Hey, go with her. She's helping. She will help you. Like, she's so nice. She will help you. And sometimes they come and like, can you help me with this? I'm like, I wish I could, but I can't.
Yeah, and that initial business is Tu BuenAgente, or did you start off with something else?
It was Tu BuenAgente, but at that time, I didn't have a name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the name, my sister helped me to build, with the name.
What's the meaning? Tell me here on the name. What's the dream?
Yes, Tu BuenAgente, in Espanol, it has like two ways, and it's like your good agent.
Okay.
En español, you can hear like Tu BuenAgente, o sea, como like that's the same thing, like you're good agent, but also like I'm good people, like Tu BuenAgente.
Okay.
I'm a good Tu BuenAgente.
Yeah.
So I really like it because people knows me, and one of the way that they describe me is like, oh, ella es muy buena gente. Ella es muy buena gente.
Perfect.
So
the branding.
yeah,
Yeah.
So the branding was there. So when we were I'm like, I have to give her credit. And like, Chelly, will be perfect because you're a good person. And also, you're going to be a good agent for them.
Yeah.
Una gente. Yeah. Que los
Did
representa.
you ever think that might be a hurdle? What if you're trying to target English-speaking market and they're going to be like, Tu BuenAgente? Like, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I don't know what it is.
I know.
Did you ever think about that?
No, because, one of the things that I learned when I was working in the bank at Wells Fargo, I noticed the necessity that our community has to learn a lot, and they need help with translations. So since the beginning, I was like, I want to work with the Hispanic community.
So you're like, this is my focus.
That's my target.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Maybe later I'm gonna do something different, and then I will have more, I don't know, clients or targets. But with Tu BuenAgente, mostly is a Hispanic community.
I love that. Tu BuenAgente is kind of a great umbrella because you provide a lot of services and do a lot of things. So maybe tell me about all the services that you provide, because I know there's a list.
Yes, I do. Well, the one that I do the most is immigration.
Okay.
I'm not an immigration lawyer. I have my bachelor's degree in business. But it's just how life puts everything together. And one of my friends asked me to do an immigration process for her. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't think I can do this because maybe you need a lawyer. And she's like, no, I don't need a lawyer. It's just an adjustment of status. And I'm like, what is that?
Oh, wow.
What is that?
Yeah.
But before that, I did some, renew residency cards for some people, and also apply for citizenship. I did my own citizenship, and I help other people before that. So I did an adjustment of status, and it was like, and everything was good, and it was approved, and now they're residents.
Yeah.
So immigration. And then I also help people with if they want to divorce, uncontested divorces.
Okay.
Where like common, like they can get to agreements with, they don't need to go to the court, and there's no fighting.
Okay.
Yeah, when they want to start fighting, I'm like, you need to get a lawyer. I'm just helping you with the paperwork. So that also I'm a minister, so I marry people in the court, or if they have a reception, I marry them in the reception too, or in the park, anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. I do like a notary as well, notarize papers, taxes. I'm gonna do next year.
You were mentioning that because you're not busy enough. You're like, I'm gonna do taxes too right now, right? Yeah.
It's one of the things that I really like. I like numbers, so and I think taxes are really interesting. And people, so I'm doing that too. What else do I do? I think that's pretty much. Yeah,
I like that. I mean, that's a big list. You say that's pretty much, but that's a big list. And I would say with the immigration side and also even the taxes side, the laws and everything, the rules are always changing. Right?
They're always changing.
So you always have to stay up to date with education. How do you go about that?
Well, when was it? In June, I went to Orlando, Florida to get like immigration certification. Okay. Yeah, and with taxes, at the end of the year, you have to be like aware of everything that IRS is changing. Yeah. Because they always change. The percentages, the brackets, they always changing. Yeah.
And for the taxes, do you want to do just personal or also business taxes? Personal business?
Yeah, I want to do personal business. Yeah, personal. Business maybe later because it's going to be my first year. Yeah. I can do a Schedule Cs, which they are very easy comparing to if you have a partnership or if you have a small corporation. It's different, but personal, just W-2s.
One of the things I always notice is that also you leverage your social media a lot, right?
Yes.
To bring awareness
Yes.
and also to develop that connection, because sometimes
Yes.
you just go live
Yes.
and you're like, hey, I'm about to grab lunch, or I just got out of the gym or whatever. Tell me about that. How do you manage your social media and how do you leverage that?
Oh my God, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, but I really like social media. I like to connect with people, and I love to do lives.
Yeah.
Lives are I think they're very powerful because it's a great way to connect with the audience, because you're live.
Yeah,
and
it's authentic. You can't fake it, right?
No,
It's like,
no. Yeah. And also, like, if they ask you a question, you are there and you can answer them. And then sometimes I start with one topic, and then they ask me something, and it goes in a different direction. But then I'm like, oh, okay, let's go back to the main point. But yeah, I like to use my social media to connect with people. And they, so they know me, who I am.
Yeah.
And not
There's
just
a face. There's a face.
Yeah,
there
there is a
right?
face to my business. Yeah, there is a face to my business. And also just to connect. How do you say, like, to connect with them, but like, hey, you're not alone in this life.
Yeah, that's true. You're
You're
building a
not.
community almost, right?
Yeah. And, I do I go to the gym. I go to the gym, and sometimes I'm not very disciplined,
Me too.
but
Tacos, I'm disciplined. Gym, not so much.
me too. But yeah, so I just tried, like you say, create awareness, like, hey, calm down, chill, you're fine. I'm going to the gym, but sometimes I'm not committed 100%. And sometimes I just information, like new information about immigration.
Okay.
Now, like, they changed the citizenship application and the fees. So I'm like, okay, so there is new fees for these applications. And yeah, when they open the Mexican consular, like, the Mexican consular is going to be open this day. This is the services that they're going to provide.
Love that. Yeah. So you're bringing awareness, you're bringing information.
Yeah, and
but then
promoting
sometimes
other
you're just
things.
being silly. I've seen you when you're on lives and you're like, I just got to the gym. I'm not dressed up, but this is me.
Yes,
right?
be authentic, be you, and sometimes cooking. I'm like, hey, I'm cooking enchiladas. Yeah, because I want to connect with people.
Yeah. What's your favorite platform? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? What's your YouTube? What's your favorite?
Facebook.
Okay.
Yes. Maybe it's because I invest most of my time in Facebook, but also I see most results in Facebook.
Got it.
I see more reviews, more people connecting, more likes. I like TikToks to do a little videos.
Yeah.
So I use that platform to do videos, and then those videos, I put it, I translate them to Facebook.
Okay. Yep. Was there ever a challenge with the business? You made the jump and you got this nest egg. But was there ever sort of a challenge that you're like, hey, I don't know, maybe things aren't working out? Or you took that jump and it was like success?
No, sometimes you're like, especially when I go to Mexico in December, and then I spend a lot of money, and it's not like you spend money, and when you have a traditional job, you go to your job, you do your job, in 2 weeks you're gonna have a payment. You're gonna have a check.
You got your vacation.
Yes,
right?
you have a check, and you're like, okay. And those, I can say when I come back from Mexico in January, it's always when I feel like, oh my God.
No.
But I think it's because I didn't build that much clients.
Yeah.
But now, like, if someone wants me to help them when adjustment starts right now, I have to say, okay, I will start working in your process like in a month, because I have already some.
Yeah, it's very seasonal.
Yes.
Same thing happens with me with DJing. It's like I might DJ their wedding, but maybe that's it, right?
Yes.
Unless they have a kid and maybe a daughter, maybe a quinceañera, but there's not like an ongoing every month, right?
No. It's mostly referral. When they're referring you with friends and family, yes. And a lot of my clients are referrals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even word of mouth to this day is probably your biggest, you would say?
Yes, it's my biggest. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And Facebook too, they when they ask for, hey, I want to know who marries people. And a lot of people puts my name with that, or a notary. And a little bit with immigration, like, oh, I want to apply for my citizenship. Who can help me? And then they put my name.
Yeah.
So
what's been the most memorable thing that has come out of your business? Do you remember, I don't know if it's a marriage or maybe helping somebody with immigration. You tell me, what are some of those memorable moments?
Ooh, today it was one of them.
Today?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about that. I wasn't expecting today.
I know. I almost cry. Yeah. I think I cry.
Wow.
Yeah, I cry and I grité de emoción. Mm-hmm. I was, because with this situation, it was very like emotional. One of the things I get very I get very emotional with my...
So you build a close connection.
Yes,
yeah?
I do. And with them, I feel bad for them since the beginning because a lawyer, he didn't help them correctly.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny because like they're a lawyer, you pay so much money to them, and then they had a little girl in the hospital for, it was a baby for a couple months. So they lost the opportunity to send evidence to immigration. So immigration closed their case.
Oh, wow.
So, they tried to do it again. And then another person, they just did one part. And I'm like, why? They have to do everything because it is an adjustment of status. And then, no, she's like, no, they didn't do it. And I was like, oh my God, I feel bad for them because they paid to immigration, they paid to another person, and they have to pay to me as well. And just the situation that the little girl was really sick and she's, that part. And we sent all the paperwork, I think it was in May. Yeah. And today we received that they approved her adjustment of status. Wow. Yeah.
And they probably thought that they had exhausted everything, right? We've seen several lawyers.
Yeah.
Like we've spent a lot of money. Yeah. They probably were feeling like we don't have any options, right?
Yeah. When we finished the movie and I said that, because she's like, hey, I received this message from immigration. And I'm okay, let me go in and check. And I was like, oh, and I started laughing and crying. And my son was like, what's going on? And like right away I called her like, hey, it is approved. And she's like, what? Like, yeah, you don't have to go through an interview. It is approved. It's approved. Wow. And she's like, that's it? I'm like, yeah. So today was one of the days also because it's with immigration, you, especially these procedures, you send everything, but it takes months and even years. So, yes.
That's incredible. And right now in the political climate that we're in too, immigration is kind of a pain point, right? They're always like anti-immigration. Right now it's really difficult to be an immigrant in the U.S., I would say.
It is. Yeah. It is. Yeah.
So they approached you, they just found you, and it sounds like you solved their problem, right? So I'm sure it was like super memorable.
Yes, yes. And they're from my hometown. And they're in Florida. They're not even here. Okay. They're like, hey, we hear that you do this, and your mother is a friend of my mom. So just because I know your mom, I know that you're a great person and you're going to help us.
Was it through social media or was it word of mouth?
Social media. Social media. They in social media, they noticed that I was doing all this. Yeah. Like, hey, and I'm like, yes, I do that. And it was just, today was like a really happy day for me.
That's incredible. Congrats. That sounds amazing. I wasn't expecting today, but I know. But that's a cool story.
Yes. Yeah. And I think it's because of the emotional part. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know, being a mom on top of being an entrepreneur, that adds another wrench to it, right? So tell me about that. What is that like?
Oh my God. Sometimes it's really hard, especially because I'm a single mom. So I have to do everything and I have to change my mentality, and I'm learning because sometimes you're like, I do everything,
You're like at soccer practice or something, maybe getting calls. I don't know.
It's crazy. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes I'm in a soccer practice and they're calling me and I'm like, oh, and I'm okay. That's perfect because he's in his practice. Yeah. But like one day he's like, my son, he told me, Mommy, you should get a secretary. I'm like, mijo, it's not time yet, but one day I will. Because I was on the phone like talking to clients, and then one call and then another call, and he's like, oh my God, Mom, I don't know how can you do it, like. Yeah. But
that's cool that he's getting to see that, right?
Oh yeah.
And then he's getting a feel for both. He gets to experience like, hey, we have all this time freedom, but when it comes time to work, we have to work. So he's seeing both sides of that.
Yeah, and he knows that. And he has been very supportive since the beginning, because when I used to do Herbalife, we used to have like feed camps Like we get in the park and then we do exercise all together. And I have videos of him doing exercise with us.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I have a table where I have a lot of Herbalife products, and he was in the picture with me.
He's the model.
Yeah, he was my model.
Yeah.
And then with Forrest, he was also like in the, in the screen, in the TV. He's like, hi, my name is Chelly. I do Forex and I do this and I do this.
He already knows probably your pitch. He can like, hey, this is how you do it, right?
Yes. And I'm doing my Facebook Live, and sometimes he reminds me, he's like, Mommy, today is Wednesday. Are you going to do your Facebook Live? I'm like, oh, yes, I have to do it. I don't know what to talk about today.
That's funny. So what would be your advice to somebody, maybe a single mom or even like somebody that's older? Because what I get from people, sometimes when they get older or maybe they, they have kids or whatever, sometimes they give up on their dreams.
Yeah, no.
And they're like, hey, I can't do this. I wish I could, but I'm like, no, like you're still super young, especially in today's age and all the tools that we have available. I think it's never too late to chase your dream.
Never. When I was pregnant at the middle of my career. So I finished community college, and then I went to Denver to finish my university. I went to Regis University. And then when I got there, I remember my mom, she told me, come back and wait. Have your baby, and then you finish your career.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. I prefer to go to college when he's inside of me, because it's easy to move and easy to do your own life. And then I just had one more year. So when I was in that situation, it was hard because since the beginning I was a single mom.
Yeah.
His father is present. He has been present always, but I knew it, single mom.
Yeah.
So like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I think God always helped me. And so now I'm like, okay, I was able to do that. And because I was able to do that, I think I'm going to be able to do so many things.
Yeah.
And never is too late. Even when you are in a hard situation, because that was a hard situation, and I was alone in Denver.
Most people would say, I can't do this.
I can do it.
I'm just going to work a normal job and, give up on my dream maybe.
No, and it was a really hard time for me because I was pregnant, I was in college, I was on myself, and I was working. I don't know how I did it, but I did it because of God. And even in that situation, so I'm like, for people, especially single moms, or if one lady is going through that, like, you can do it. Please, just give yourself a chance and find help. Find God. I would say find God. Find a community that will help you, that will, push you.
Yeah.
So, no sé cómo se dice, como que te...
Like your motivation, your drive, right?
Yes, your drive. Like you can find people that really, really going to help you with that. And never is too late. I think, I love to dance. And one of the things that I want to do later in life is to have, to go to dance classes. But to learn something different.
I was asking you that because you go to the Baila OKC stuff, right? And I was like, do you go to the classes too? And you're like, no, I just like going to the events, right?
Yes, I love to dance. I love to dance. It's in my blood. It is in me, in my heart. But I want to experience being in classes and develop skill and not just bachata. But one of the things that I want to do is like contemporary.
Okay.
Yes. And learn more learn more.
They had breakdancing in the Olympics for the first time. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I haven't seen it.
But today they had breakdancing.
Oh
in
my
the
gosh.
It was pretty cool.
Yes. Yes. But always chasing for your dreams.
I mean, I don't feel old. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being crazy. But especially now, if you think about our parents or maybe our grandparents, the world that they lived in was much different, right? So if you wanted to start a business, you had to pay for advertising. You had to pay to be on the TV.
Yes.
All this stuff. Nowadays, you have all these platforms. They're free, right? I think right now it's an incredible time to live in. And also we're talking about, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a geek about business. What I'm seeing for the future predictions, they're saying that everybody's going to be in the gig economy. What do you think about that? That's sort of the prediction. Everybody's going to be like their own business. And that's kind of the future of work.
You know what? One of the things that I heard the other day, it was like, if you want to be an influencer, that's going to be amazing. And start right now because it's one of the best jobs that you're going to have in the future. Yeah. Well, not like already, but because to be an influencer, you have to have a lot of content. It's a lot of time that you have to invest.
Yeah.
If you
Would
do
you
a
describe yourself as an influencer too, or no?
I would say yes.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I like to influence people, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading that, and that's the predictions for the future, is everybody's going to be independent, and especially if you think about technology. It makes sense.
Yes,
you have all these tools. You don't have to be in office. You can work from anywhere. So that's kind of the prediction for the labor workforce, is everybody is going to be in the gig economy.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. You're a fan, right? You're like, I've been doing it.
Yes, that's great. That's
I always tell
amazing.
people also personal brand. Even if you're working
yes.
in a traditional job,
Yes.
like you said, you were working for OU or whatever, still create a brand for yourself, right? Start posting videos of whatever you like or whatever you like to talk about.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be there forever and they can't take away your brand, right?
No.
So if there's layoffs or whatever, you have your brand, you can take that, and that's super valuable.
Yes,
Right.
of course. Yes.
Yeah. What would be your tips for building a personal brand for people out there?
Okay, you have to be you. You have to be authentic and you have to be consistent with the content.
Yeah.
Try to do, if it is once a day, post a lot of stories that will help you a lot. But yeah, like be very authentic.
Yeah.
Have a plan. Like I say, have a plan. Like maybe today I'm going to post about this. And then I do like a Facebook like every week. And share the moments, share your life, but to a point that you're not sharing all your private life.
Yeah.
Because I do that. Like I share a lot of my life, but not all my life. But it's good because the people already is like, oh, she's doing that. And one of the things that helps a lot is like if you travel, like also talk about how do you get your tickets and those things, those tips,
Yeah.
tips will help
that's
them.
great, because a lot of people might say, well, my life's kind of boring. I don't have anything to share. But I think we all have something that we can teach, right?
Totally.
Yeah. I always see that. They're like, well, and also they overthink that. They're like, hey, they're afraid to post something to their Instagram. I always see that. People are okay with posting to the story, but when it comes to the feed, they're super scared. They treat it like it's a museum. They're like, I can't post this picture. It's not perfect. The lighting, I don't have a camera. They overthink it.
Yeah. One of the things that I learned is that if you wait to post a picture, like we're talking about picture, but it can be, you can relate to this everywhere. If you wait to have like a podcast and everything has to be perfect, the cameras and the lighting and the sound.
You'll never do it.
You will never do it. Like, the one that I have, my lives, is not like yours, but you
should see my first ones. If you go to my first episodes,
Okay.
it was virtual.
Okay.
And only like my mom and me were watching it. And, and it was just online. There was delays. There were errors with the audio. But every episode, I try to better one thing, whether that be the thumbnail, whether that be the lighting. And just every episode, try to get better.
That's perfect. And that's the way to do it. Like, just do it. And it won't be perfect at the beginning, but you will get better. Right now, oh my God, this is amazing where we are. Yes. Go, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I always tell people, go for it. But then they probably get tired. I don't know. Yeah. What I've learned too is there's a lot of people that have different ambition, right? Some people are okay going 8 to 5 and then just doing Netflix. And they're happy. And if they're happy, that's cool. And I have to understand that some people are happy doing that. I'm not, unfortunately. But I think there's people that are like that, right?
Yeah, and we have to understand. Yeah. We have to understand them and yes, like I would say, understand them, and it's okay. Everyone's, we have to have people that have 8 to 5 jobs. Yeah. We need to, like, let's say we need to have baristas in a coffee shop, and we need to have people that is working too.
Yeah, but if it were me, I'd be like, I don't want to be the barista. I want to be the coffee place owner, right? I want to be the owner, right?
Yes, or the manager, because you have aspirations.
Yeah.
And that's, not a lot of people has aspirations, and it's okay if they don't have it. I would say if you're happy with what you do, that's perfect.
If you have other things that you're doing, all your eggs are not in one basket, right?
Totally. I agree with you. Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about music. I love talking about music. So if I pull up your playlist, who's going to be on your playlist?
Yes.
I would say probably some bachata, maybe Romeo Santos, something like that. I don't know. And then maybe some cumbia. I don't know. Calvillo, maybe some banda. I don't know. You tell me.
Okay. Bachata.
Yeah.
I have bachata. I have Karol G.
Okay.
What else? I have bachata pretty much.
That's it? Yeah.
Bachata, salsa, Karol G, and Grupo Frontera. I love Grupo Frontera. But mostly bachata. And, one of these days I was, trying to reflect about what I was hearing. Because what you hear, it impacts a lot in your life and your mental health. And I was like, well, you're you're hearing a lot of bachata.
Yeah. But bachata mostly is romantic.
It's romantic,
mostly,
yeah.
So I think that's positive, right?
It is positive. It is positive. But sometimes when you're like single for so long, you're like, okay, I don't have a boyfriend, and it talks about bachata. But I love salsa because salsa is really happy. It's really, yes. Yeah. It's like festive.
How did you get exposed to bachata and everything?
Okay, bachata, and I was remembering that when I went to the Aventura concert.
Oh, you went. It looked really cool.
Of course, yes, I went to Aventura concert. And this is my second time Aventura. Okay. And I saw Romeo again. I love Romeo Santos. Okay, in middle school, one of my friends, she was like, she had like a desk for Aventura. And the first song that I listened, it was Tan Solo por un Beso.
Okay.
Tan Solo por un Beso.
Classic.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I love this song. And then I have another friend from Honduras, and they dance a lot of bachata too, a little bit different. Yeah. It's more like traditional, like Dominican. And she used to hear a lot of bachata, El Torito, y Alexandra. Yeah. So I was like exposed to that. And I was like, I love that. Because, in Calvillo, we dance a lot of banda. Yeah. But even though we dance a lot of banda, most of the banda that we really like to dance in Calvillo is like cumbia style.
Oh, really?
Like, yes.
Okay.
Like very like...
give me some examples. Like what maybe some of the bandas
like
or some of the songs.
24 horas. Or the bandas... I would say Banda Jerez. Banda Jerez is de Jerez, Zacatecas. Yeah. Banda Jerez, they have a lot of like cumbia. Okay. El camarón pelao, el tamarindo. Yeah. It is like a cumbia.
But cumbia is not quebradita.
No. Yeah. No, quebradita is a different world. Yeah. I would say that it's kind of like bachata in the sexual part. Because it's kind of very sexual, the quebradita. Yeah. Yes. And banda, the thing with banda, they can do like the very traditional and they can do like cumbia. Yeah.
And sometimes they do covers. They do covers of bachata songs and stuff like that.
And
too,
they do,
right?
And then, bachateros do covers of banda. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that, but then sometimes they ruin the original. Like they'll do a Marco Antonio Solis into a bachata or something, and I'm like,
that's true. Yes.
You can't mess with some of the classics.
Especially with Marco Antonio Solis, one of the biggest singers in Mexico. But I love music. I love to dance. I love to hear music. Yes.
So for the people out there that maybe they want to try dancing, that's also intimidating, right?
Especially we were talking about that.
We were saying, hey, sometimes I watch the Baila OKC, the clips, the highlights. Yeah. Everybody looks like a professional dancing. They're doing all these turns and everything. Right? It can be intimidating. So what's the tips if they want to try it? What would you say?
I would say go. I love to go to socials because even though, yes, it is intimidating, but you're going to learn from them. A lot of what I know is by going to the socials. Okay. And don't be afraid. Ask. Like one of the things that I love, it's like I can go and ask a man to dance with me. With our bailes, like Mexican dances, los bailes mexicanos.
That's true. It's more the guy. Right?
The guy. Yeah. Like if I go, last time that I went to a Mexican dance was in March. Okay. And they never asked me to dance.
No way.
And I was like, my feet were like...
Yeah. But you know like as a guy, speaking for the guys out there, sometimes it's also intimidating, right?
It is.
They're like, and maybe they've asked like a couple of girls, they all say no, and it's like, okay, like I don't want to put myself out there, right?
You know what? It's part of life. Yeah. Like it's like just go ask. If they say no, pues whatever. Yeah.
Like, so you think at the bachata, merengue, the girls go ask the guys?
Yes, I go like especially a lot of people from Kansas, they come or Texas. I'm like, I haven't seen this guy and I love how he dances. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, do you want to dance with me?
That's cool.
Yeah, and even like they're like, we're in the dance floor and a song just ended and you're one like Jaime, hey Jaime, let's dance. Yeah. Okay. Like So you're going to find a community. I'm like promoting bachata more.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
And that's exactly what I do in my lives. I promote people.
Send a check in the DMs if you're listening.
Hey, Jaime.
Yeah.
Yes, I just go and have fun. And you're gonna create a community. You're gonna create like friends. You're gonna have friends, and it is really it's really fun.
Is that your outlet, the dancing, or do you have other outlets or other hobbies when you're not busy and you just want to like unwind? What do you do?
Well, to relax and have fun, yes, I go dancing because that helps me with those two. Like I relax and I have fun.
Yeah.
But I also like to go like walking and bicycle, swimming, to the gym. I'm very like outdoors person. I don't like to be inside a lot. No, because I'm inside cooking, cleaning,
True.
be with my son, and then working in my office. So I like the outdoors.
I always hear that you should have 3 hobbies.
Okay.
One that's going to be mental challenging, one that's going to keep you physical, and one that could potentially make you money.
That's
So,
great.
do
Okay,
you
I
have
need
3
to
of those?
find. Yes, social media. I love social media.
Okay.
I think social media is one of my hobbies.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
especially, I like to do a lot of reels. I like to do, when I went to Aventura and I did reels for Aventura.
Yeah.
A little clips. And now like when that's I can say that's my hobby.
Yeah, I'm trying to do golf for the thing that I can do physical. Because you want to do something physical
Yes.
that you can do forever.
Yeah.
And I think golf, you can basically golf forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then-
So for you, it's like dancing probably, right?
Dancing and gym.
Gym.
Yeah,
Okay.
like weightlifting. I always, I'm skinny, and one of my goals is to build up muscle.
Okay.
And then my dad, he's like, "Oh my God, you're always in the gym, and you're saying that you're gonna build muscle, and I don't see it. I don't see it." I'm like, one day you will see it, because I'm very persistent. So I'm like, one day, Dad, one day.
What's the trick to being consistent? Because
It's
what I find is
hard.
like if you're going day to day, it's easy. But then you miss one day, and then
Yeah.
it turns into 2 days, then it turns
Yeah.
into a month. And that's when it's hard to go back, right?
Honestly, it's hard to be consistent. I'm very honest.
Yeah.
It is hard to be consistent. I'm not consistent 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But I try to be. Y me jalo las orejas. I'm like, Araceli, you have to go back to the
Are
gym.
you a morning gym person or late night?
Morning.
Morning?
Morning,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I finish.
Yeah.
I finish. And then it gives me the energy. One of the things that I like to go to the gym is because of the energy that I feel. Like, oh my God, I did something.
Yeah. You always feel amazing once you leave the gym.
Oh, yes.
It's just getting to the gym.
It's hard.
So I think if you just go to the gym, and even if it's just like, hey, I always tell people, make a playlist with like 3 songs, 3 of your favorite songs. And then you're going to get on the treadmill for those 3 songs. When the lyrics are going, walk. And then when the chorus, run. And then walk, chorus, run. And then just do that.
Wow.
And that's like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Just keep doing that. And before you know it, you're doing a mile. You're doing 2 miles.
Wow, that's a good trick.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like that. What's your favorite thing to do at the gym? Is more the weights, or you prefer cardio? What do you prefer?
Oh, no, weights.
Weights?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm learning because one of the things that I always wanted to, it's like to have a private coach or go to a coach that will help me.
Yeah.
And I went like 2 months ago with this girl. She's amazing, but it was really far from my house, and I learned a lot from her. And my sister, she's a coach too, but she
really?
lives far.
Oh, wow.
And you should have her in the podcast. She's
Yeah.
really, yes.
Perfect. I'm down.
She does a lot of meditation, and she's like me.
Yeah.
She does a lot of things.
Okay.
But yeah, she's a trainer, and she lives here in Yukon. So it's like,
That's not too far. I thought you were saying like hours away. Yeah, that's not. That's
no,
not
but
terrible.
she's always busy because she does soccer too. She coach little kids for soccer, and then she does meditation, and she does massages, and then she's a personal coach. She's like, girl, when are you going to have time for me?
I love that. Are you a big believer of writing down your goals and vision boards and all that? Like, how do you stay on top of your goals?
I do that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have like a vision board. I have my vision board, and like for my daily, I put like this. I'm gonna do this and this and this and this.
Okay.
The bad thing that sometimes happens when I'm not consistent is that I don't do the things that I supposed to do,
Sure.
and and I was like, Araceli, but yes, I do that, and at the beginning of the year, I do the vision board with my son, and yes.
So what are your goals for this year? Are you able to share, or are they more like, your personal goals?
Well, personal goals.
You don't have to. I'll put you on the spot. So
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm a, how do you say? No, I don't want to say that because no, that's not right. The right thing.
Okay.
But I'm a believer of love. So I want to find the true love.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready. That's one of my personal, like my biggest personal goal.
Yeah.
Love and also fitness.
Okay.
I start waking up at 5:30 in the morning, and I was good for a month. But then everything was a chaos.
Not so much.
So I want to go back to that habit. It's amazing. It's like you said, you have to just do it.
Yeah.
But
I
sometimes
think
it's so hard.
If it just becomes a ritual, right? And it's a habit. And then when you don't go, then you kind of feel bad. You miss it, right? Like you don't get that rush afterwards. The rush afterwards, I think it's amazing.
Yes.
If you get to feel that, you get hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my plan, to get hooked to that. So that's more like, and my son, I want him to be really good on what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I put my personal goals with my sons. I don't know, we are connected.
Yeah.
So I want him to succeed in what he's doing. And with my business, I have some numbers. Like, okay, I want to hit to this, this let's say like 5 adjustment of status or 20 citizenships. I have that.
Yeah.
And like savings account, I want to finish with this this amount in my savings account. Yeah. I want to go for New Year's to Asia.
Really?
I don't know. It's hopefully Thailand.
Okay.
But that's Asia. It's one of the places that I want to go.
Awesome. So traveling is also like one of the things you enjoy?
Traveling, yeah. Oh, yeah. I would say that traveling is one of my hobbies too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love to travel.
What's been your favorite place that you traveled so far?
Greece.
Greece. Yeah.
I love Greece.
Everybody always says Greece.
I don't know. I just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was in love with Greece and yes.
I've always romanticized going to Italy, I think, and just going to a little coffee shop and then a little baguette, riding a Vespa. Like, I just romanticize that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe once I get there, it's not that great, but I just think the food and the people are amazing.
I went to Italy, and when I was in high school, I loved all the architecture and art.
And I feel like everything seems slower.
I was not focusing in that.
No?
I was 17 years old, so I was focusing in Italiano. But yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I like the way that they live. It's very similar to Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, I think that in Europe, they enjoy life more than here.
Yeah.
I think here in the States, we're like in the go.
And they appreciate it, right? Like if they're going to have a cup of coffee, they're going to have a cup of coffee.
Yes.
And here it's like, you like throw it down, you're like, I got to leave. And it's kind of like when you see a movie and there's like a big breakfast, right? And the kid just grabs like a donut. He's like, I got to go. I'm late for school. And there's this big breakfast. They never eat the breakfast.
How to say? They work to live and people here live to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I want to thank you for your time. It's been amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Before we sign off, you plug in your social media, your business, anything. The stage is yours.
Yes, well, people follow me. Follow me in my social media. On Facebook, I'm Araceli Lopez. Instagram, I think is Araceli1133.
Okay.
It's kind of weird, but if you type Araceli Lopez, you will be able to find me. And TikTok, Araceli Lopez. Everywhere is Araceli Lopez.
Okay.
And I also have my pages for my business, Tu BuenAgente. And it's the same, Tu BuenAgente in both in Facebook and Instagram.
Perfect. And you want to remind them of some of the services. You provide a lot of services.
Yes.
But maybe your top services you provide.
Immigration, like if they want to renew their residency card or if they want to apply for citizenship, I can help them, or an adjustment of status as well.
Okay.
If they want to get married, I do bilingual
Oh, okay. Awesome.
weddings, not a lot, but I did a couple and I have 2 coming up. So, and also, well, I translate, documents and they need some like birth certificates. I do a lot more things, apostille. They need to.
The more we talk, the more I'm learning, the more you do.
Yeah, I do more things, but go to my social media and then you're going to find all the things that I do.
And catch one of your lives, right?
Yes. My lives are Wednesdays, mostly at 7 p.m.
Perfect.
Yeah, because sometimes people are going to my house, my guests, and, the traffic and,
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I want to thank you for your time. I
Thank
enjoyed
you.
the conversation.
Me too. Thank you. I was
All
super nervous, but I feel,
Feel good?
yeah, I feel good.
Awesome.
Feel more relaxed. And
Awesome.
yes. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, super talented Araceli Lopez on the Maverick Podcast. In dreams, we trust.